Esquire is out with a story on how the Trump administration is planning on treating the media. They say Donald Trump's team is considering moving press conferences out of the White House briefing room where they've been held for decades in a potential change that has alarmed journalists just days before the start of the new administration. The incoming administration may evict reporters from the White House, with one unnamed senior official calling the press the opposition party. The nearby White House Conference Center or Old Executive Office Building are said to be under consideration as new locations for the briefings. The incoming press secretary has discussed no longer televising daily briefings, a practice that began in the 1990s, or even holding the briefings in a different way. He's also talked about switching up the briefing room seating arrangement, a process overseen for decades by the White House Correspondents Association. So, now, when you talk to them about this, when you talk to the administration about this, they'll go into their little tap dance. They'll say, whoa, no, don't get the wrong idea here, guys. It's not that Trump is particularly hostile to the media in a way that other presidents haven't been, even though other presidents, including Obama, have been massively hostile to the media in some respects. It's not that, though. No. We're doing it for practical reasons. Look, Donald Trump he's a big-time celebrity, okay? And that means there are a lot of other media outlets that want to cover him, not just the traditional media outlets. So we want to be even more open with the press, and we want more people to come in and cover him. So it's just not big enough anymore. The room's just not big enough. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna just move it out of the White House. We'll just move it out of the White House. Now, if they provided sufficient evidence to show me, no, it's not like we're gonna, try to hide from the media more and tell them even less information and crack down on them more. If they gave me evidence that indeed was the case, well, then I'd be okay with it, because then it is just a case of, hey, it's practical, we want more people in the room, and, we got to fit them, so what are we going to do? But there's so many lines in here that are just gigantic red flags, like when they say, the incoming press secretary has discussed no longer televising daily briefings, a practice that began in the 1990s. Or even, instead of having the room set up in the way where the journalists decide and the organizations decide, they want to pick. Oh, okay, so I see what's happening here. If you're not trying to do the daily press briefings anymore, then you're just trying to be even less transparent. If you're not talking to the media, then you're trying to hide more of what you're doing, obviously. And then if you try to schedule it and try to organize the room as you please, well, what are they going to do? All of the organizations that are the most lenient on Trump and the most in favor of Trump are going to get the front row seats and are going to get the most questions. And all the other more adversarial, organizations are going to be pushed further and further to the back and become more and more irrelevant. Look, we just saw that with CNN recently. Now, in this very specific instance, I actually think CNN was wrong, because they kind of ran with a story that appears to be complete and utter bullshit. So I actually don't blame Trump and his administration for being mad at CNN in that case. But then when Trump goes out there and he gives a press conference and he doesn't even give the CNN guy a question, and he's like, you are fake news, and then he just moves along to the next one. No, bitch, you're the president of the United States. You don't get to just, unilaterally and universally say, that's it, no, you're done. Because this is what he did on the campaign trail, too. On the campaign trail, he had media blacklists. I was screaming from the rooftops about this, saying, don't do that. You shouldn't even be allowed to do that. When you're running for president, you should have to abide by the same rules and laws and regulations as if you already were president. So if you want to be in the highest office in the land, you have to abide by the First Amendment when you're there, correct? Well, then when you're running for that office, why shouldn't you have to abide by the First Amendment when you're doing that? Of course you should. So you shouldn't be able to have a media blacklist that says, oh, you said something bad about me, you're not allowed to cover me. You said something bad about me, you're not allowed to cover me. So it turns out that Trump on the campaign trail, he had kicked out organizations like, for example, the National Review, a very conservative outlet. But he said, I don't know, you're too mean to me, I don't like it, gone. Politico, kind of vanilla centrist establishment kind of paper, gone. Washington Post, so many, just kicked him out. And who did he allow in? There were white nationalist radio shows that he would give press credentials to. But, outlets that were well known, that have been in business for decades and decades, who he said, no, I don't like you, so you're gone. So they're trying to craft a media that is totally and utterly subservient to the state. And this is another expression of that here. They're dodging by saying, no, it's about practical reasons. We want to allow more people in. But in essence, what they're doing is, hey, let's shut down the process. Let's not have the daily press briefings. Let's make them more rare. And when we do them, let's not have them in the White House. Let's get it more detached. And then when we do them in the other place, the new place, let's change the seating arrangement and put all of Trump's favorite outlets closer to him, and he'll probably only call on them, rarely, if ever, call on people who are going to be adversarial to him. So, look, oftentimes I get mad at the media for how they cover Trump and how they do a shitty fucking job, but this is even more concerning, to have a president who goes this far above and beyond to crack down on the media. That's in no way excusing Obama, because, he's notoriously been bad with the press, and obviously with like whistleblowers, for example. There's a war on whistleblowers. Just talk to Edward Snowden about that. He used the Espionage Act to go after leakers, whistleblowers who leak to the media important information more than any other president, more than all the other presidents combined. So he was a disaster in his own respect. This is in no way excusing anything he did. What Trump is doing here, though, is above and beyond, because he's saying, we're just going to blow up the way the game is played because I don't want to be questioned. So this is that authoritarian impulse taking over, and it appears like, what scares me is that everybody's already just kind of like yawning at it. Like, what are you going to do? Well, daily press briefings, how about not daily? How about maybe every other day? Or how about maybe once a week? And, doing it in the White House? No, let's detach it further. And why not let me pick the seating arrangements? Oh, boy. So buckle up. This isn't good. It's going to be a long ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And we need to be more adversarial now than ever. And we need to make sure we hold him and his administration accountable and bring the facts to them and let them know you ain't going to get away with it if you're not being truthful.